Have you ever wondered what truly makes a man fall, not just in love, but into a state of profound, soul-altering connection? Forget the superficial tricks and fleeting tactics about playing games or changing your appearance. What if the key wasn't about becoming what he wants, but about becoming so unapologetically yourself that you activate something deep within his very psyche, a part of him he barely knew existed? This isn't about attraction, it's about resonance. It's a journey into the hidden architecture of the masculine soul, a place where logic surrenders to mystery and where a woman's true power, her regal, sovereign presence, becomes the most magnetic force in the universe. 1. The Shadow, Kingdom of Buried Authenticity. Within the heart of every man, hidden from the bright lights of his conscious personality, lies what Carl Jung called the shadow. This is not some sinister dungeon of pure evil, but a vast, silent kingdom where all the parts of himself he was taught to disown now reside. It is a vault holding his unshed tears, his stifled creativity, his deepest fears, and the raw, tender vulnerability he was told was unmanly from boyhood. This realm of his psyche is the reservoir of his exiled authenticity. He has learned to perform strength, to project stoicism, but his shadow holds the untamed, chaotic, and profoundly human parts of his soul. Your regal power, my queen, is not to become his therapist and excavate this kingdom for him. Your power lies in your unwavering, non-judgmental presence when fragments of his shadow inevitably surface. When he shows a flicker of insecurity, a moment of irrational anger, or a whisper of a forgotten dream, you do not fix and you do not flee. You stand like a mountain, firm and serene amidst the storm, witnessing his inner turmoil without absorbing it. Your silent courage, your unshakable self-possession, becomes the implicit permission he has craved his entire life, permission to be whole. You do not heal him. Your presence creates the sacred space where he can begin to heal himself. 2. Anima, the sacred flame of soul recognition. Carl Jung's concept of the anima is perhaps one of the most powerful forces in the dynamic between men and women. The anima is the eternal, archetypal feminine essence that exists within a man's unconscious. She is the personification of his soul, the bearer of his intuition, his capacity for relatedness, his connection to the irrational and the profound. For most of his life she lies dormant, an unmet potential within his rational, structured world. Then you appear. When your authentic feminine essence, your untamed emotion, your intuitive wisdom, your sovereign mystery, your grace, resonates with his dormant anima, it is like a spark landing in dry tinder. You become a living, breathing symbol of his own soul's missing chord. He may not understand it, but he feels an inexplicable pull, a sense of recognition, as if he has known you forever. This is where your wisdom is paramount. You must understand that this powerful projection is his inner landscape being activated. It is not a duty you must fulfill. Your power lies in being the resonant note, not in contorting yourself to become the muse he imagines. You remain anchored in your own truth, a lighthouse, offering brilliant illumination. But the journey toward that light, the integration of his own soul, is a voyage he must make alone. Your radiant reality compels him to eventually see you, the woman, not just the dream of his own soul. 3. Sovereignty over projections, the unshakable mirror. The initial, intoxicating phase of falling in love is often driven by projection. A man, enchanted by the stirring of his own anima, will project its goddess-like qualities onto you. He will see you as perfect, mystical, the solution to all his existential loneliness. A woman who is not anchored in her own worth will either shrink under the weight of this idealization or become addicted to it, contorting herself to maintain the fantasy. But a feminine queen, grounded in profound self-knowledge, becomes an unclouded mirror. She understands that the dizzying adoration he feels is the sound of his own soul waking up, not a reflection of her manufactured perfection. Your regal task here is one of immense strength and compassion. You must reflect his projections back to him with gentle, unwavering clarity. When he places you on a pedestal, your authentic boundaries, your human flaws, and your unvarnished truth gently guide him back to the reality of who you are. You do not shatter his fantasy with cruelty, nor do you try to become it. You simply hold the space where his projection can dissolve against the solid granite of your genuine being. Carl Jung knew that true psychological growth, the path of individuation, begins only when these projections are withdrawn and integrated. Your sovereign presence, your refusal to be anything other than who you truly are, catalyzes this essential and transformative step toward his wholeness and your genuine connection. 4. The inner citadel, unassailable self-possession. True magnetic power, the kind that inspires deep and lasting respect, does not stem from external beauty or charm. It emanates from an impregnable inner fortress, an unshakable core of self. The ancient Stoics called this the inner citadel, a sanctuary within the soul, governed by virtue, reason, and purpose, rendering it immune to the chaos of the external world or the shifting moods of another person. For you, my feminine queen, this means cultivating and fiercely guarding your inner world. Your passions, your spiritual practices, your intellectual pursuits, your friendships, and your sacred need for solitude are not hobbies. They are the very walls and towers of your citadel. They are non-negotiable territories. Carl Jung's process of individuation, becoming a whole and undivided self, demands this same fierce self-possession. You cannot midwife another's journey to wholeness if you yourself are fragmented and dependent on his approval. When love presents itself, you step out from your citadel to engage with him, to share your world, but you never ever abandon its walls. Your presence is magnetic precisely because you belong so completely to yourself first. His presence in your life is a beautiful, cherished addition to your empire, not the foundation upon which it is built. You must guard your soul as your throne room, for it is from there that you truly reign. 5. The paradox of sacred distance, sovereignty's allure. In a world that screams for constant connection and immediate gratification, the feminine queen understands a profound and paradoxical truth. Constant proximity suffocates the very mystery that love needs to breathe. Here, deep psychological wisdom converges on the understanding that the masculine psyche, in its archetypal nature, often thrives on a worthy pursuit. This is where you master the paradox of presence. It is a rhythm of profound, soulful engagement, followed by intentional, unapologetic withdrawal into your own rich, sovereign life. This is not a manipulative game of playing hard to get. It is the natural consequence of honoring your own wholeness. When you are deeply immersed in writing your book, building your business, mastering a skill, or simply enjoying your own solitude, you create a potent and compelling vacuum. Your absence is not experienced as an empty void, but as a resonant echo of your depth, your purpose, and your fascinating inner world. It compels him to not only value the time you do share, but also to journey inward himself. Like the moon, which governs the vast oceans through its rhythmic and predictable distance, you command respect and ignite desire through your unwavering commitment to your own orbit. All right, feminine queens, thank you for being the heart of this incredible community. Feminine Queen Channel wouldn't be here without your likes, comments, and shares. Keep that powerful energy flowing, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and share. I'll love you forever for it. 6. The alchemy of opposition, Tempering in conflict. Conflict is inevitable, but for the feminine queen, it is not a catastrophe, it is an opportunity for alchemy. Carl Jung identified a principle called enantiodromia, the tendency for things to turn into their unconscious opposite, especially under pressure. When you are faced with opposition, when his shadow erupts as sudden coldness, irrational anger or defensive withdrawal, the untrained response is to either meet fire with fire or retreat in fear. The queen, however, responds with centered resolve and the power of deep witnessing. You learn to see the conflict not as a personal attack on your worth, but as his internal, unconscious material surfacing for integration. His anger may be a mask for his fear, his withdrawal may be a shield for his shame. Your calm, unshakable presence in the heart of his storm becomes the alchemical vessel, the container in which lead can be turned into gold. You do not absorb his chaos, you hold a firm but compassionate space for it to exist and transform. Your refusal to be dragged into the unconscious drama, your ability to stand in your power and say with your energy, "I see this pain in you, and I am not afraid," provides the necessary friction for his own latent strength, his own awareness, his inner king, to be forged from the fires of his own shadow. 7. Silentium, the regal power of restraint. We live in an era of noise, of constant chatter, unsolicited advice, and the pressure to fill every moment of silence. The feminine queen, however, masters the regal art of silentium, strategic, powerful silence, and profound, active listening. When a man takes the courageous step to share a piece of his vulnerability, to expose a corner of his shadow kingdom, or to grapple aloud with his deepest insecurities, the common impulse is to rush in. We want to fix it, to soothe it, to offer solutions, to placate the discomfort with a flood of words. You must resist this impulse. Carl Jung understood that silence is the very womb of the unconscious. It is where transformation is gestated. Your quiet, attentive presence, completely devoid of pity, judgment, or the frantic need to rescue, is a sacred and powerful container. This silence is not passive. It is an active, resonant field of acceptance that communicates far more than empty assurances ever could. It says, "I behold all of you, the magnificent and the wounded, and I do not run." This profound restraint demonstrates supreme confidence in him and in yourself, creating the fertile void where his own inner voice can finally emerge, and his own realizations can crystallize and take root. 8. The mirror of potential, evoking the latent king within every man, as Carl Jung believed, is a vast landscape of unlived potential, a nascent king awaiting a call to adventure. The feminine queen possesses the rare and powerful gift of seeing this potential, not through naive idealism or empty flattery, but through what can be called the mirror of potential. This is a gaze imbued with clarity, respect, and profound belief. When he speaks of a buried dream, a path not taken, or a courage he feels he lacks, you do not coddle his current state of limitation. Instead, you reflect back to him the possibility you perceive within his soul. You don't say, "Oh, you could do that one day." You ask questions that serve as powerful invocations, challenging his ego, not with force, but with an unwavering belief in his deeper self. You might say, "The man I see before me carries the strength to begin that journey. What would be the very first step he would take?" Your questions bypass his excuses and speak directly to his latent heroism. You are holding up a mirror that reflects the crown he has not yet claimed, not to inflate his ego, but to awaken his own sacred responsibility to his soul's purpose. You become the seer who recognizes his sovereignty before he fully embodies it himself. 9. Amor, Fati and the Shadow Warrior, loving what is. Here lies the ultimate test of your regal power. the fierce, clear-eyed embrace of reality in its totality. This is the principle of Amor Fati, or the love of one's fate, merged with the deep psychological courage to face the shadow. It means seeing him completely, his light and his darkness, his strengths and his wounds, his charm and his flaws, and understanding that these are not obstacles to be overcome for your happiness. They are the intrinsic, inseparable threads of the man he is right now. Your power lies in your ability to love the man who stands before you, or to release him with grace, without ever demanding that he amputate parts of himself to fit your idealized fantasy. You hold the sacred space where his shadow can be acknowledged without shame, where his struggles are met with the strength of your understanding, not the weakness of your need to rescue him. This radical acceptance, which must be grounded first and foremost in your own unshakable self-love and sharp discernment, is the only soil in which a truly transformative conscious love can possibly grow. But it can only grow if he, too, chooses to tend that garden. A queen loves faithfully, knowing that her worth, her peace, and her kingdom are entirely independent of his choices. 10. The Chalice of Wholeness, rule from the unshakable core. The culmination of this entire journey, my ladies, is not about mastering him, but about mastering yourself. It is about becoming the integrated chalice, a vessel strong enough and whole enough to hold all aspects of your own being, your brilliant light and your mysterious shadow, your fierce strength and your tender vulnerability, your boundless love and your sovereign boundaries. The ultimate truth is that no man, no relationship, no external validation can ever complete you. You are already whole. Your love, when you choose to give it, is an overflowing abundance from your own wellspring, not a desperate plea from an empty cup. You engage with the world from a place of profound inner fullness. You set boundaries not as punitive walls, but as the sacred markers of unwavering self-respect. You are able to walk away from a connection, not in a storm of anger, but in a state of serene self-preservation, when you recognize your core values are not being honored. Your inner flame, your passion, your purpose, your unique essence burns with a steady, constant light, a light that is neither dimmed to make others comfortable nor flared to consume them. You are the centered monarch of your own inner world. From this unshakable core, you extend grace, depth, and the potential for a transformative love, not as a transaction, but as your sovereign gift. The throne was never his to give you, it has always resided within. Reign. This journey into the heart of depth psychology is a testament to your own power, my queens. The insights of Carl Jung reveal that the most potent force of attraction is not a tactic, but a state of being. It is the raw magnetic power of a woman who has done the inner work, who has faced her own shadow, and who stands fully in her sovereignty. When you embody this level of wholeness, you become more than just a woman a man desires. You become a presence that his soul recognizes as essential for its own evolution. You are the catalyst for his journey toward the king within, precisely because you are so firmly enthroned as the feminine queen of your own life. Do not mistake this wisdom for a mere strategy to win a man's heart. It is a lifelong commitment to your own individuation, your own becoming. The love and respect you will attract from this state of being is simply a beautiful natural reflection of the love and respect you have first cultivated for yourself. Your primary relationship is, and always will be, with the vast and powerful kingdom within you. Tend to it, guard it, and rule it with grace and wisdom. So I ask you to reflect on this. Where in your life can you embrace your own shadow more fully? Where can you fortify the walls of your inner citadel? How can you offer the world the unshakable mirror of your authenticity rather than a pleasing reflection? This is your work. This is your power. This is the path of the feminine queen. Thank you for joining me on this profound exploration. If this message resonated with the Queen within you, honor that resonance by liking this video and share your own insights and reflections in the comments below. To continue this journey with us, subscribe to Feminine Queen and hit the notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to claim your power. Your presence here makes this community what it is. Until next time, remember, your throne awaits. Reign.